if somewhere here and a location here. And they're so far apart, you could never get there. But a wormhole is a way you actually fold space-time, and then you're there. It's just like that. It folds it, okay? So that's how that works. Now, what does this have to do with this particle accelerator? You know, they're little teeny particles, right? But the only way they could conceive of making a wormhole that we could actually go through and travel is you'd have to start...
Why do they call it a wormhole? I'm sure everybody's out there saying,
why do they call it that?
Talking about?
I think
no, but they're saying, what are you talking about?
It's a way of traveling from point A to point B by folding space-time.
Through time.
Folding space-time.
Eternity through
right.
space and time.
Instead of traversing the distance, you actually just fold reality itself. Is what
well, and the term worm comes from thinking of an apple. And if you had to travel around the surface of the apple, you have to go from here up and around over here, but the worm goes right through the middle.
Yeah.
So the wormhole gets you from point A to point B faster.
Yeah. Okay, and it also could open a portal to hell, perhaps, or something like that. Okay, but they can't conceive of a way you could make one big enough for humans to go through, or a spaceship, or anything like that, natural, you know, by an artificial means. How could you manufacture such a thing? But the only way that they thought of is you have to start with something really small, and they could make one in something like this, and then expand it. So really, this technology, CERN, is one way of creating an artificial wormhole. It's the beginning of that process.
Is that like a black hole?
A black hole would be the entrance, and on the other side would be called a white hole.
It's pretty scary.
Some of the early scientists that are still probably afraid of this machine are afraid that you might start something that you then can't put the genie back in the bottle, and it could literally consume the Earth.
Right now, while we're sitting here,
right now,
their biggest experiments are beginning.
These are the biggest, most powerful experiments ever conducted on the planet, ever. We've never tried to collide 600 million particles at just below the speed of light beneath the surface of the Earth, 600 million per second. Here's the thing. If you look at CERN, there's a lot of interesting things there. First of all, their logo is a stylized 666. If you look at the logo, it's 3 sixes wrapped into each other. You know, there's always been this question about when we see the plagues of the end time, the question of whether or not some of these are things we essentially have unleashed on ourselves by being rebellious against God.
Pay attention to, because remember the internet has been invented by CERN, and now we are hearing about this Hadron Collider that they are going to use September the 23rd. And I want you to see also not only the www in the Hebrew, which is Vav 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 in Hebrew, is 666, but also their logo is 666. I also want you to see that the biggest search engine on the internet, Google, is really a presentation of the collider or that stargate of CERN, and also it's a representation of 666. I want to share with you a vision that I had. The Lord showed me that after this September, a black hole was literally open, and something came out, and it was roaming the earth.
The abyss.
And at that point, I could feel as if something was pressing upon my chest. And the Lord told me, do not allow this thing to come in. And then he quoted this scripture 3 times. Evil men and seducers will wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. Then I realized that this is a spirit of deception. Deception is going to increase. And so this is already happening. But could you imagine it getting worse? From this September, I tell you, it will be a September to remember. And though there may be no thunder rolling and no lightning flashing, I'm telling you that something is shifting and something is going to change. Jesus is coming, and it's time for us to get ready.